All right, the Lions win a huge game, and
That's right.
really they do the unthinkable, and that is they beat a team that had a scoop and score or a pick six against them, and that never happens. And there's a stat out there: 97% of the time, that team's going to win. If you get that, such a big play, they overcome that, they come back. Oh man, so many things to talk about. Craig, what are your initial thoughts as we unpack this game?
Yeah, initial thoughts are not only is it remarkable because you love that stat. You love that if you get a pick six or a scoop and score, you win the game
You win.
stat. You win the game. Also, you often win the game if you start with when you don't get the ball and you start off 10-0, which the Vikings did. They blitzed us in the first quarter. 10-0, and they were getting the ball in the second half, but we were just so stinking dominant throughout the rest of the game that we were still able to find a way. But this was this crazy back and forth game. Can I give you some stats?
Yes.
So Lions are down 10-0 to start the game. Then we go on a 21-point run. So we're up 11. Then they get it to 21-17. Then we score 28-17. We're up 11 again. Like it was, I don't know what it was. It was like the Lions, two teams blew a 10 or 11 point lead. It's nuts how to see what that looks like.
This was
we got the victory.
Epic game. You're right. We look like, oh my gosh. And it just kind of felt like we needed that one play to just push them back, because that's their whole thing. They want to do all that weird stuff. And we finally get it. Gibbs.
Yep.
And then we just start rolling. And a couple of things I liked in this game was, first of all, I want to go defense first.
Great.
Brian Branch and Malcolm Rodriguez, I thought, just played their butts off, and love to see that. And I just thought really the secondary played really well because we did not get pressure. I think that was very disheartening to see no pressure, and you really get to see it firsthand, what we all know. But you saw Aiden Hutchinson's loss is just obviously so huge, but so we didn't get the pressures, and we still were able, I thought, to just hang in there, because it's one thing to play man-to-man knowing that, man, this ball's going to come out pretty quick, but when you're back there, so I just thought secondary played really well. What were your thoughts on, maybe I'm missing something there, secondary, including Brian Branch?
Yeah, I thought the secondary played really, really well, all things considered. I agree with you. I think the average time to throw it didn't feel like we were getting pressure. I think we did end the game with like 3, 4, 5 sacks. Now, one of them was on a great play at the very end when they had the Hail Mary. We sent 2 linebackers, 3 defensive linemen and 2 linebackers, and we put them all on one side of the line. So like we rushed 4 on one side, 1 on the other. Genius. But we had to, I was shocked at how many times we would send a blitzer. It wouldn't get home, and still Darnold couldn't find anybody open. That's how good the defense played. Terrion Arnold, I thought, had his best game. I could be wrong here, but I don't remember him really giving up anything, even to Jefferson. And so I thought he played well. I thought Brian Branch has cemented himself as a top 5 safety in the NFL, and he's done it in playing 6 games as a safety, right? Because he was a nickel for the most part last year. And to see him be able to go everywhere, oh man, Brian Branch, that guy is special. He is a special player.
And as I'm watching that, I'm thinking, hey, scheme matters, coaching matters. We all 100% know that. But also, isn't it so nice to have some just ball players? Brian Branch being one of them, Jahmyr Gibbs being one of them. Laporta and Jameson Williams didn't even get in the action. But, I mean, the Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, I mean, that just shows you what we're talking about there, because Craig Reynolds, no offense to Craig Reynolds, but if he's in the game at that point and he takes that same run, he probably gets 8 yards, bangs around, pinballs around, gets 9 yards on that, and we're all like, nice run. Jahmyr Gibbs bursts through, cut back, makes a guy miss, touchdown. It's so huge. So I'm with you, though. Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch stood out today, and had to have it.
And then I'm gonna do another take on this one. So in the first 2 games, is it fair to say that some of the fans were starting to question the contract that we gave Jared Goff? I mean, he came out of the gates kind of slow, really the first 2.5 games, I would even say. We're 2-1 to finish those games, but he comes out slow. Real talk. I think you're going to see the national media and they're going to start talking about Jared Goff being the front runner for the MVP right now. His last 3 weeks are probably the best 3 weeks I've seen a quarterback do as far as an efficiency standpoint. The offense scored like over 40, and 31. It was just, it's been remarkable. Not only is he a good quarterback, he might be the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Over the last 3 weeks, he has been hands down.
I'm so glad you brought that up because we've kind of, it's easy to gloss over that. When he plays bad, boy, we can just pile on so easily.
He can't
when
move.
He plays,
he's not mobile.
in fairness, when he does play bad, it looks extraordinarily bad too, just optically. Fine. But the point is that you're making, it's so good, is they flash up his stats here these last 3 weeks, in the middle of the third quarter, whatever. And it's just like 17 for 17, 290 and up, whatever it is, right? And you're just like, that's his stat line right now. Are we talking about this? And that's been
it took him 15 throws to have an incompletion again
on a tip. It was just a tip.
It was a tip. Yes.
Yeah. So he's I think he's like 87% over the last 3 games, or maybe not that well, but it is something
like 80, 83, something like that.
Yeah. And if you're at 70, you're feeling very good. And he's up in the 80s. So I love that point that we can't forget about him. We have a high level, and because this Vikings defense, and I'm curious why more defenses don't do it. Maybe you have to have the personnel. I don't know, but boy, it does cause problems. And the big problem that it caused us early was the holdings, because you're just like, you're looking at a guy standing up. You got 2 guys on each side. You're like, one guy comes, the other doesn't. You look at a split second too late and hold. So we had to really adjust a lot this game. And I thought Jared Goff orchestrated it all.
Yeah, the funny part about this is, hey, who's the best quarterback in the NFL against the blitz? Oh, I mean, it's got to be an improviser. It's got to be Mahomes, right? It's got to be Lamar Jackson. It's got to be Jaden Daniels. It's got to be one of these Jalen Hurts, right? No, it is the least mobile quarterback in the NFL. It's Jared Goff. And and I've said this over and over and over again. It's just like Tom Brady. There's zero mobility, but he's extremely quick in the head, and he knows where to go with the football, and that's what's important. And so he knows exactly where to go. But I think my biggest overarching takeaway here is we're number 1 in the division, and we're number 1 in the best division in football, and we just went into the number 1 team's building and beat them coming off a bye week. Yep. So it's not like, I mean, you saw what we did off a bye week. We just murdered the Cowboys. And then we go in there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, this is a really, really good football team, especially offensively. It is pretty remarkable.
I love it. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, the thing that you hit was on the road, right? So now you look ahead, and we've got 3 division games. Excuse me. Yeah, 3 more division games at home, and then we've got 2 more on the road.
Correct.
Am I saying that right? Yeah. So to get a division game on the road, it's hard to do. It's just hard to do. And you saw it right here. I mean, we're humming along. Next thing you know, scoop and score. It's just difficult. Now, last thing I'll say, and we'll open this up to the comments, was, isn't it so nice to have Amon-Ra St. Brown when you gotta have it about 3 or 4 times? Is just like, gosh, and he catches it. Everybody's on him. I mean, he had a couple. The one where he like caught it with 2 hands, goes to the ground, just gets slammed to the ground, and then he like lifts the ball up, like,
with one hand.
Yeah, here you go. I got it. So it's just huge to have crucial players, man.
Don't worry, guys, I got it.
Players.
Well, it is beautiful. And like, I'll even throw this up there, right? Like, let's take a look at this. And you see something like this, and you look at the stats for St. Brown: 8 catches on 8 targets for 112 yards and a touchdown. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, can we ask for anything more? Like, it's perfect football. And for all the conversation that we have about Jameson Williams and the flash and everything he can do, he gets 1 target, 1 catch for -4 yards, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is still there, still reliable, never a question. He is worth every penny of that $30 million. He is reliable. 100%. He'll be where Goff wants him to be. He runs crisp, specific, and pristine routes. He understands the game. Let's get it going.
Oh, love it. All right. Let's open this up to everybody.
Oh,
Here's
wait a minute. This is the most important question that we have yet, though.
what's that?
Craig, I need to know the teams of the last two helmets on the bottom right. Please, bro. It's been killing myself trying to figure it out. You're going to be shocked that you don't know who one of the teams is. Because well, the Lions are the third. It is the old Patriots and the old Dolphins logo. Thank you very much, from the 90s.
Old Buccaneer. Wait. Yeah. Oh, yes. I see what you're talking about.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Maybe maybe it's that too. I get what you're saying though.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe I just need to sit over here.
There. How about this? Bates. I mean, the guy makes me just we all know his story, and
He almost
so
missed the first extra point.
yep, he misses. He somehow makes extra points every time by just narrowly. And hey, I just during this game, I'm thinking, oh, I forgot about Bates. Not forgot about him, but I'm like, oh geez, there's Bates. Like we're just rolling on with this guy that's not even like a
Yes.
full-time kicker almost, right? It was almost like,
Right.
let's just see what he can do. We'll find somebody else. Like, no, this is our guy.
This is our guy. And he's the guy. I don't know what to say. Like, did you hear them say he hasn't missed a kick in a competition game since high school?
Yeah.
But that can't be true because I thought he missed a couple in the UFL. So, anyways, with that being said, it must be a false fact that the announcer said. I'm not going to buy into it. But I was saying the same thing. My son's in the room, my wife's in the room, and I'm like, I don't know if I like leaving it to a kicker, a rookie kicker at a 44-yard. I wish we would have tried a little harder to get closer. I was wrong. Jake Bates had his best kick of the day. I mean, that thing was dead, straight down the middle. It looked like it was going to go to the right, and then it went right back to the middle. It's like the ball knew where it was going. It's like it had GPS on it.
Yes. And another thing, Craig, speaking of the end of the game, I want to talk about two situations. Just love to get your thoughts on it. First of all, I loved the end of the game. There's a lot that can go wrong there. We're kneeling, like I loved that situational football there to kneel it. I also loved the end of the first half where we ran it 3 times. I was thinking kind of similar there, right? Let's just run, milk the clock all the way down, and let's kick a field goal, go up 17-10 into halftime. Well, we end up scoring on that run. That was awesome. So I'm going to hit you with three things.
Okay.
And the last one, see if you can remember all these. End of the game, end of the second half, or the first half, and then Dan Campbell, fake punt. I thought was just brutal.
It was stupid. Even if it worked, it was stupid. Sorry, keep going.
Okay, thoughts on it?
It was stupid.
Yeah, let us know in the comments too. Dan Campbell, fake punt. We love the aggressiveness, but your thoughts in the comments on that. Maybe we're missing something.
I mean, that's why we were down 10-0. Yeah. And here's the thing. You didn't need it. It's not like, again, sometimes you have to remember you have the better team. Like, I don't know if maybe like you have the better team. There's no team we go against right now that we're not equally or more talented than. And so you can't sit here and try and pretend like you need to be great. Like just do your job and you'll be fine. With that being said, absolute masterclass and execution at the end of each half. Yes. Masterclass. And I love what you were saying. As soon as we crossed the 50, we had like 4.5 minutes, something like that in the first half. And I'm like, man, it'd be really wonderful if we could just run the clock all the way down here. And we did. And then it's the same thing. Like the officials, or not the officials, the announcers, you got Greg Olsen being like, why are they taking their time so much at the end of the end of the game? And I'm like, because we have Gibbs. And apparently you just need to give him 2 touches and you're in field goal range. Like, the guy's unbelievable. Fastest. He's so fast. Like, I know we say Jameson's the fastest on the team. Are we sure? Are we sure? He's unbelievable. So, okay, go ahead.
No, if I've learned anything from the new NFL, and I say new just because there's a couple things. Kickers can kick further than ever. And so Greg Olsen was like, they're taking their time. And it's like, man, we do have a lot of time. All we got to do is get 20 yards. You know, it was probably more than that, or that would be ideal. But we have 20 yards to go. We've got a minute and a half. And if you give them the ball with any sort of time. So he was just kind of I thought the Lions played it perfectly at the end. So mentally strong. This is just a big time win that will not only be good, obviously, for now, but just build off of is so huge.
Yeah, and I love this one. I'm trying to think here. Now it's gone because they're coming in like crazy. Here it is. Big Moose said fake punt call and the scoop and score hurt us. Should not have been this close. We just went in and we played a 5-0 team in their backyard, coming off a bye week. And usually the only thing that gets you coming off a bye week is a slow start.
Yep.
They did not have a slow start. They had a fast start, a rip-roaring start, right? And we still were so much better, at least today, that we were able to win this game.
Unbelievable.
I'm thrilled with this team. Like you wondered the first 3 weeks, when is the offense going to click? And then all of a sudden, the last 3 weeks, you're like, oh, it clicked. We have just so many weapons. It's fun, man. And to be 5-1, first place. I think the Packers lost by a point to the Texans today.
Perfect. They
right?
suck.
Bears on a bye.
They suck.
And by the way, our next 3 games, I think it's Titans, then at Green Bay, and then at Houston. So yeah, like get a win, get to 6-1, and then those next 2 games can determine, like, are we going for a number 1 seed in the playoffs, or are we just fighting to win the division?
Yep. And let me know in the comments, and we'll fire them up here if we agree with them.
Eric Johnson, good
Who
to see
gets
you,
your game ball? Give me or game balls for this game. 1 or 2 game balls. Give them out. Game balls. Oh, Packers won. Great.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Game balls. Let us know in the comments here. My game ball, Craig. I'll give you mine. You can then give me yours.
You gonna go offense, defense, special teams?
Oh yeah, let's do it all.
Yeah.
Game ball for me.
I get it.
Would be, let's do offense. Jared Goff. Easy. I mean, I hate to just go chalk here, but the thing about him
different than that.
Well, so Jared Goff. How about your game ball offense?
Offense is Jahmyr Gibbs. I would have given it to Jared Goff if you didn't. I'm going to give it to Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery gets hurt early, and the offense got better because Jahmyr had it. Here you go. You can look at it right here. I'll let you see it. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries for 116 yards. That's a ridiculous yards per carry. 2 touchdowns with a big play, which completely kickstarted our team. And then 4 catches for 44 yards on 4 targets. So he was reliable in the passing game and the running game.
Yep.
That's how you know we're live.
Game ball to Gibbs. He started it all. You're so right. We talked about this to start our show. Was like, man, we just need to get something going, and he did start it all. How about defensively? Who did you like?
It's Branch. It's Branch because he got a turnover. He was guarding every single player that they have out there, and he guarded them well. Really, really weird second game ball. If I could give him a mini game ball, can I give him like a little ball like this one? Something like this. We'll give him one of these to Pascal, believe it or not.
Ooh, Joshy.
Yeah, I want to give one to Pascal. He came out of the game twice, clearly was fighting something with his left arm. Got a sack, created pressure many times, a lot of hustle plays, chasing Darnold after he would step up in the pocket. I just thought he played a really good, well-rounded game. He was never going to be Hutchinson, but he didn't get the consistent pressure like he did, but he played the role pretty well, and I was impressed with him for sure.
All right, I'll give you a mini game ball then.
Mini game ball
to Malcolm Rodriguez. So,
yeah.
Remember, he comes in, he's awesome, but then he doesn't really play much last year because we got more talent in there, and now he's been put back out there a lot more. And man, he had a couple big plays. He's there. He's sticky in coverage. He's tackle. He's physical. So again, it's a mini game ball, but I love seeing him out there. And then special teams wise, we talked about already a little bit, but Bates, like what are you doing? Yeah. What's this guy doing out there?
I mean, Fox only has to punt twice a game. So but by the way, when we couldn't get it and we had to punt to them with like 3 minutes left, like a 65-yard punt by him was huge.
Dorsey,
by the way,
down.
Krusty Muffin 18 hates Pascal. He's the slowest player on the field.
Yes.
Pascal's operating 0.7 seconds behind the entire field. Hold on, he's not done. He is so slow off the line. He just kept it going. Like, hey, well, it's okay. I'm
Man,
not saying he's great. That's why we need to go find a replacement.
Anzalone has just consistently surprised me since the second he's been here. I thought he was going to be a 1 year, just fill in the gaps, but he is a starting linebacker that plays very well.
Yeah. He's a solid starting linebacker. I don't know how else to say it. He's a solid starting linebacker.
Wow. Comment of the year here. Let's just sit on this for a second. If anybody knows what Temu is, it's
I usually say Spartan brand, but
yep, it's just a knockoff. Just it looks good on paper. On the website, it arrives and it's just like so. Nowaski,
it's a Chinese company, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just their whole thing is just visuals on the website because you're like, oh, I'll take that. It's only $4, and then it gets here and it's like, oh, I see what happened there. That was just a really good pick. Oh, I think autocorrect, but Tim Patrick, your thoughts, Craig?
Love. Maybe he's saying he is him. No, it is Tim Patrick. First off, he did not fumble, which is great. That first carry that he had up the middle. But he had a couple of big plays down the field where you don't see Tim Patrick is some of the blocks, right? He had a block that I think helped spring Gibbs. He had a block that helped keep Goff upright. Like there's a lot of different things that he does. Love me some Timmy Patrick. He is the guy who makes this offense go. And by the way, Khalif Raymond was more involved in the offense than he has been all year. All year. That was very interesting to me. Like what's almost to a point where I'm just like, what's going on with JMO?
Yeah.
Like, why are they drawing all this up for Khalif? Why aren't they drawing some of this up for JMO?
Sure.
That's interesting.
But you said it earlier was, man, when the rubber meets the road, and it felt intense out there. I mean, it really
did
felt different. It's like, man, St. Brown, what a complete stud to have St. Brown. And
he's the guy.
Oh my gosh, he is so good. So kind of, I guess now my next question would be as you go forward, are you like, all right, give me another week or two with our current defensive lineman? Because remember, it's not just Hutch. We lost Davenport. We lost what's his name? But Derek Barnes even.
So we lost Derek Barnes. We lost Davenport, and we lost why can't I think of his name? Kaminsky.
Oh yeah, Kaminsky. So let us know in the comments. Is it time to seriously trade for somebody, or do you go again? Do you try to scheme something up a little bit more? Our blitzes didn't quite get home. Where are you at with it, Craig, now that you got to see it on the field? What it is like without Hutchinson?
Yeah, I want to know where you're at. So no matter what I say, I want your answer still same as it would have been. I want to go trade for someone. And I don't need Max Crosby. Everybody's all excited about it. I don't need to give up 2 firsts. Or a first and a second. I don't need to do that for Max Crosby, so we can pay him a lot of money and then not be able to afford to re-sign some of like a Laporta or a Hutch or something like that. But I think it's time to go get like a Zadarius Smith. I think that would be awesome. And I think the reason I want to go do it right now is because you have the Titans game where it's like, all right, you can get away with that a little bit against the Titans, but then going to Green Bay, going to Houston, like if you let Jordan Love and CJ Stroud just sit back there, they're gonna torch us.
Yeah.
We need to have a pass rush for sure. Yeah.
I am going into this game. I was like, no, let's roll what we've got. Let's, we're going to be fine. I don't know what I was thinking. Like fully, I was just like, we don't need to hold on because there's not any, you can't just go replace him. You could with Max, but that's going to be extremely costly. So my thought was just roll what we have. I come away with it too. Like we got to do something. It's just very evident, especially with all the injuries. We got to do something. I would love to see it be a like I'm not interested in Hassan Reddick at all. Somebody that's been sitting out or anything like that. It's just someone that's been actively playing that you can get for just spent. Let's do something. We need to for sure.
For a third round pick.
Yeah.
Right. Like get somebody for a third round pick. That's fine. I don't even care if you go get a guy for a first round pick that you can keep for a while, like a Trey Hendrickson, right? Like they've been talking that he might be a second and a sixth or something like that. Like that's fine. Like I'd be perfectly fine with that. That's an in between Crosby and Smith, right? Like he's a good player. He can stop the run and the pass. Like let's just, yeah.
This comment. Too bad we couldn't see Hutch get after CJ again.
Go blue.
Wow, go blue. Go blue. Those were the glory days, Craig. I'm afraid
Those
the
were,
glory days.
those were the glory days. They are. It's amazing how long gone they seem, isn't it? Pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable how quick that thing derailed.
Wow. Just in the comments, just out of curiosity, just let us know your college team. Is it Michigan? Is it Michigan State? Is it Oklahoma? I got a feeling we're gonna see some wildness in here. Is it Go Blue, Sparty, or are you just a random fan of Boise State? Let us know in the comments. Oh, geez, Caden, that was quick. Hold on.
Yeah, take it easy. Caden.
Yeah, think about it before you. We're Michigan fans, but we're all Lions fans. You know, that's the beautiful part.
There's a Bama.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love this one. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire up, Chips.
Go, baby.
I went to Western for a semester. Go Broncos.
Oh, go. Yeah. Nice. Michigan. Illinois. Wow. Carter.
Okay. All right. Yeah. This is this real?
Right.
Is this real or is this for fun?
Yeah.
Like I know it's a real school, Coastal Carolina. It's just funny that someone's on here that's, yeah. Is this kind of like unequally yoked? Like I know, I mean, the most important is, are you equally yoked in your faith? But Michigan State, that's rough.
That's bad. I'm a Lions, so okay, yeah, keep them coming. This is there you go, Craig. Sorry,
there it is. So nice. All right. What's the mascot over there, Coastal Carolina?
The Pirates. Wow. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's East Carolina.
Oh, sorry. Coastal Carolina? Coastal Carolina. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Carter. All right, Craig, last thing here. We're gonna let me hit you with this. Do you feel you watched that game? First of all, I was so happy to say, like, all right, Bears aren't beating either one of those teams that I'm witnessing. Thank you so much. Like, just because the Bears have been doing good playing against crappy teams, and it's like, oh shoot, this division. It's like, no, we're fine. The Bears aren't gonna. The Packers are good, unfortunately. But where do you now going forward? Just how do you feel? That was such a huge win to get that on the road. All the things. Just where you at? Just going forward.
Yeah, I'm not anymore. I still think that the Packers. I think that the Bears are better than we want to admit. Mm-hmm. I think that the Vikings are better than we want to admit, and I think the Packers are good. And I think I've always thought they'd be good. So going forward, I'm just thrilled with every single win because this is a meat grinder of a division. So I don't think any of these games are easy. I don't think anything like that. I just think I feel like right now we're in the SEC. Like we are just going through this gauntlet and it's either going to wear us down as we get to the playoffs, or we're going to get to the playoffs and be like, oh, we can breathe again, because we've been playing so much good talent in our own division. Yeah. And here's the thing about the Bears. Their defense has played really well against us.
Sure. Yep.
And so when you talk about the Bears, that drives me nuts. Don't tell Sean over at Sports Talk Bears. Like, we don't want to admit any of that to him. But man, I really do hope Goff goes off for like 350 yards against them.
Oh my gosh. You summed it up perfectly. I think the Packers are a lot better than we want to admit. It's hard to believe that they are as good as they are. They're just going to be good. The Vikings are good. The Bears are just going to be tough out. They're just going to be, but yeah, I feel great. You got to get these. You said it. It's just get them when you can get them, because this is we lose that game. We've now got 2 losses. They have 0. They'd be 6-0. We'd be 4-2 or whatever. Yeah. And so that felt so good to get this win. So we're good.
Felt real good.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Just subscribe before you leave. Just hit that subscribe button. That way, just hit it. Just hit it
down there.
You're thinking, Nah, I don't usually subscribe to channels. It would just mean a lot to us. And all it does is get you our content in front of you a little bit more
That's it.
consistently.
Yep.
It's just so easy.
One video a day. Doesn't blast you with a lot. Just video a day.
Video day. And I think it like when you hit the subscribe button, it like sparkles.
What sparkles? The subscribe button?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick. Man, this game will humble you real quick, won't it? I mean, and David Montgomery deserves to be getting all the praise and the money and everything. And it's like, let's go. Like you cannot tackle him. And then the next thing you know, boom, punch out, pick up, score. It's like, oh
yeah. Oh, and he's just gutting it out with a bad knee. And it's like, and that's what I love about him. And by the way, just remember, we have David Montgomery. We don't have this.
Oh, best comment of the day.
Mm-hmm.
He's the worst. Swift's the worst. Dude, Jahmyr Gibbs, I thought of that today. He's running fast. He scores. He's sitting there. He's so much bigger than you think. He's powerful. It's what Swift thought he was. It's what Amir Abdullah was like. What's up?
I can do this.
I can do this. It's like, no.
Javid Best.
Javid Best is like, let me get in there. No, wow. We had quite the run of old running backs there. We were trying to find these guys, like literally trying to find what we have now for.
Yes. And now we have them, and we've got them under contract for the next 3.5 years so they can split carries, not get too much wear and tear on their body.
Yes.
And good to go.
Good to go. And again, if you're just thinking, should I subscribe? I would hit that subscribe button.
Why not?
All right. Anything else you want, Craig?
No, I got nothing to say except 5-1. 5-1. Happy to be here. It was scary at times. That's the NFL. You knew this would be a tough game. It's always tough going into Minnesota against a division opponent who knows you so well. And to get the win is just massive. It's just massive because every time I say this, we get a division win. We're in such a tough division. You know, the rest of those teams are just going to beat the crap out of each other.
That's right.
And so, let's just get through it, get on. From what I saw, there were no major injuries.
Nope.
So let's just go.
You nailed it. That's why winning in the division is so good, because then they play each other, and by just math, there's going to be guys going down. So Sonic and Knuckles. Wow. What a humbling moment. Yeah. Just
love it.
Where the punch out is just so crazy how well that works.
Yeah.
All right. That's all. Okay. Let's get out of here. Subscribe.
See you, everybody. Thanks for hanging.
See ya.